Video review for professional development course. I created two different digital transformation concepts for my microbiology course: backwards design and active learning. The backwards design activity was designed as a pre-lesson assignment over a complex microbiology topic. The objective of designing this learning activity was to help students better understand the difference between capsule, slime layer, and glycocalyx structures, as students tend to struggle differentiating between these terms and their application to a bacteria cell. The goal for this activity was to give students an opportunity to study this microbiology topic prior to discussion of this lesson in lecture class. The pre-lesson activity included a 12-minute video presentation discussing this microbiology topic. After watching the video production, students completed a 10-question self-assessment that gave them immediate feedback. Students were permitted to take the self-assessment multiple times to score 100%. After completing this pre-lesson activity, there was a lecture discussion over it. This slide shows an example of the backwards design activity created for students, which included a video presentation and a self-assessment. Review of creating backwards design activity for my course. 80% of the students completed this pre-lesson activity prior to attending lecture over it. Of the students that participated, the average score on the self-assessment was 94%. In lecture discussion, students gave positive feedback on this pre-lesson activity as they felt it helped them better prepare for a more meaningful class discussion. I plan to continue to use this backwards design activity in future semesters, as I felt it put the student in the center of the learning process and enabled them to be more engaged in class discussion over this lesson. The active learning activity included a group activity worksheet over inflammation. This group activity was designed as an in-class activity over events of inflammation to assess student understanding of the inflammatory process after lecture presentation over it. Objective of designing this active learning activity was to have students break out into small groups of 2 to 4 students to talk through and review the events of inflammation. The goal was to give students an opportunity to engage with each other in a discussion of the steps of inflammation to solidify their understanding of this topic. This group activity included a worksheet over events of inflammation that students completed together. This is an example of the worksheet over events of inflammation that student groups completed. Review of creating an active learning activity. Students gave positive feedback on this group activity as they felt it gave them the opportunity to review and discuss the steps of inflammation with each other. I plan to continue to use this active learning group activity in future semesters, as I felt it gave students the opportunity to engage with each other to reinforce the concepts in this lesson.